The average OnlyFans creator makes about $180 a month. Now, a lot of that has to do with promoting and marketing and all that stuff, but if you don't have the time to do that, or that's something that you're just not willing to do, there are other options for you. People talk about OnlyFans all the time because it is more pushed out to the public and it is more seen on things like TikTok and YouTube. But one of the places that I love to work on the most and isn't really brought up a lot is SextPanther. There are so many different reasons why I love SextPanther, but one of the main ones that I love, where a lot of girls struggle and why they're struggling to make money on OnlyFans, is because they're not getting traffic to their pages. SextPanther has something called internal traffic. So what's the difference between the two? OnlyFans, you have to find your traffic wherever you can. Instagram, Twitter, using stickers and placing them around your city to draw people in. On SextPanther, you just post the explore page, feed, whatever, and you use 3 hashtags. There's a specific way I like to go about my hashtags, but I can talk about that another time. You post with your hashtags, and the people who are already paying customers on that website, already knowing what they're coming in there for, can add you as a contact and start paying you immediately. Do I think that you can totally make a decent amount of money and about the same as SextPanther if you really do get to promoting your OnlyFans? Yes, absolutely, if you do it correctly. But I also understand that not everyone has the time to be out there and promoting, or they want it to be a little bit more protective, secretive of their online work. Now, SextPanther isn't going to totally hide you away from the world, but just posting on the explore page every so often while you're online is going to bring people your way, and it's a lot easier. Another reason I also love SextPanther a little bit more over OnlyFans is OnlyFans, I've never, knock on wood, oh god, there's wood in there somewhere, I've never dealt with a chargeback, but chargebacks are not in our favor. They're almost always given to the customer, and it's really annoying because you can do all you can. You have been the best business person you could possibly be, and they will turn around and they will fuck you, and it's not fair. On SextPanther, I have had people refund and they get kicked from the website. This doesn't mean to scam anybody, of course, but this just means when they file a chargeback, their account is deleted. They can make a new one, of course, but you're most of the time protected. You can refund people, there is buttons for that, but it's your choice at the end of the day, unless you did something really wrong. OnlyFans definitely is big on the scale, but SextPanther, although it may be smaller, is still super significant. The platform is definitely a little bit niche. It is one-on-one, interactive, live. OnlyFans is similar, but on SextPanther, you can turn on your phone calls and video calls and become available and catch more people's attention. More people can add you to their contacts for free. They have to be charged to message you every single time, which is really cool. You guys weren't gonna tell me that my septum was wonky. Shady. That's okay, I'm still gonna tell you all about SextPanther. I think it's really, really cool though, because I get to just turn my calls on and off whenever I need be. If someone comes knocking on my door, or if all of a sudden I just wanna go run and grab a quick snack, I can just click the little call button off and go do what I need to do and come back and do it. I also really enjoy SextPanther because I don't have to like set up the call in advance. On OnlyFans, it's technically not allowed, but it's something that they allow anyway because it makes them money. But setting up calls can be a little bit more tedious and also time consuming because, you know, you're not always available for that. On SextPanther, they see this person is online and available. I have the green light, and they can just call you and you can automatically make money. It's also kind of similar to OnlyFans as well, to where, at least for me, I can get up for my day and I can set my phone and computer up on one side and do whatever I need to do. I can do laundry, I can clean up my room, I can organize, I can prep, I can start making scripts for the next week for content, for clips. I could be folding the laundry, And then all of a sudden I hear the call come in, I switch over to my computer real quick, or you can do it on your phone. I prefer having it on my computer because it's a more clear, fancier camera because I used to stream. I take the call is done, it shows me how much I make, which is really cool as well, and then I move on, I do what I need to do. On SextPanther, you can set your own rates and you can change them whenever you would like to as well. So if it's a slow season, you can adjust to that. If it's a busier season, you can adjust to that. If you feel like you're making your way up the sexy little ladder, you can change it up according to that. There's no subscription price as well. So customers can just come across your profile, add you to their contacts and save you for a rainy day, or they can automatically see that you're online and say that they want to play with you. It also takes some of the stress and anxiety away from me. I don't know if anyone else deals with this, but me personally, when I wake up in the morning and I log on to OnlyFans and I look through the recent notifications and I see a deleted user and saw that they purchased something, it kind of gives me like a feeling of in my chest of like, are they trying to charge back? What's going on with that? And it just makes me nervous, even if the majority of the time, like, they're totally fine. On SextPanther, people do delete their accounts, they get suspended. Sometimes they don't want to get caught or have any notifications or anything like that, so they just go back and forth. But I know that I'm protected because they got the content that they came there for, and then they left. I also have noticed that on OnlyFans, because there is a subscription price, I feel like in customers' minds, they feel like it is more of a commitment and they don't really want to spend more money. Hot take, but I do feel like the customer base is completely different on the two websites. I feel that the OnlyFans customer base is a bit more cheap. I also feel like they're a bit more pushy, which I personally do have issues with. I definitely put them in their place, but I get a lot more pushy people on there, and I can't just like remove them and like try to teach them a lesson. If you block them, it takes away their likes, I'm pretty sure, and they can get a refund for their stuff. But on SextPanther, I can remove the customer. There's options for that. I could remove him, he could come back, I could say, are you ready to pay the unblock fee? He says yes or no. I either get a bunch of money or I don't. I also feel like they're just generally more respectful. I have in my profile, there's options for putting up pictures, several pictures for your profile that they can just like swipe through before they add you. And on there, I just like to have my list of rules, my do's and don'ts, specifically more than the don'ts, because I don't want to have someone add me and automatically go into something that I'm not interested in. And one of those is any amount of disrespect whatsoever. So people see that and they realize like, okay, she's not fucking around. And I think it just kind of, these people know what they're there for, because there's a lot of porn stars on that website. They actually do have a separate website, I believe it's called Minx, specifically for porn stars, more high scale ones. But they know what they're getting into is the main point I'm trying to make. On SextPanther, there is also a bit more of room for impulse buying. So on OnlyFans, usually how it goes is they subscribe to your page. They have to DM you to get the content, unless you're someone who has like all your stuff on your page for free. If you're really wanting to make a sale, you're making it in the DMs. They have to message you, they have to go back and forth. Some of them like to haggle, some of them like to waste your time with messaging back and forth about who knows what, and then they end up not buying anything and you only have like what, $4 to $10 from them for their subscription alone. That's sometimes all you end up getting. But on SextPanther, they already know that they have to pay you per message. So they aren't fucking around. They're there to get what they want while also most of the time being very respectful to you, making sure that you can do what they need you to do so they can get off and then get off. And on OnlyFans, they have to ask you, are you online? Are you available? When are you available? Da 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 da. On SextPanther, you are just there ready to go. So that impulse purchase is so much easier for them to make, whether it be a phone call, video call, texting, sexting, whatever. You do also have an option of, you have your explore page and then you have your personal feed. So you can totally put up videos for sale. People can scroll through that. I recommend not having too many pictures up on your feed that are free. Clear it out every once in a while so that people can see a lot more of content that you want them to buy, the more pay-per-view stuff. On OnlyFans, when you have a paid page, you can't put things up PPV on your feed. I don't know why. It's definitely very annoying. Either way, those are a couple more things that I like about SextPanther versus OnlyFans and how the customer base is between the two. I've already mentioned how it's a little bit harder to be noticed on OnlyFans versus SextPanther. Another one of the things you can do once you sign up for SextPanther is you get a new model tag. This pushes you out to everyone. If you're a new model, you will be put up on the new model page. OnlyFans doesn't have something like that. They do have a discover page, but that's once you hit, I believe it's like top 5 or 3%. If you use those first 31 days on SextPanther wisely, and you are posting and you are online and you are responding as fast as you can, you are going to do well. Now, obviously, if you aren't doing those things, you're probably not going to make money. But I do think it's really cool because I'm one of the people that fucked up big time. When I first got on SextPanther, I think I did it for like 3 days, and I was preoccupied with streaming and I didn't really give it the fair chance that it deserved, and I fucked up my new model tag. I did not do what I needed to do. I wasn't posting the way I needed to be posting. I wasn't online, I wasn't available, I was getting messages and I wasn't even responding to them. But months later, when I ended up quitting stream because of so many different reasons, I can get into that another time. Maybe I'll make a video of that. But when I ended up leaving stream months later on SextPanther, I was able, because I was taking the right steps, to make more of a name for myself on there and definitely make more money on there. Versus if you're on cam, personally, like, this is what I've noticed, and a couple other girls, you can ask them too, have noticed. If you leave for even a couple weeks, your position will change on that front page, and it sucks so bad because you can definitely tell the difference. With SextPanther, you're in these people's contacts. They will see you. If you're online and you're available and you start posting again and getting more active, you're gonna make it work for yourself. There is a leaderboard, but I haven't noticed that this affects your traffic in a negative way. It can definitely help your traffic, but I haven't noticed that it hurts you. Unlike on cam, if you're pushed all the way down to page 4, 5, 6, 7, last fucking page, that's gonna hurt you real bad. It's gonna sting. Speaking of leaderboards, there is also the option to go trending. I love that little fire emoji. I love seeing it next to my name. It looks so freaking cute and it makes me feel so good about myself. The trending, I believe, is the top 100 girls currently making money on SextPanther at that time. You can trend for as long as you are making money. My leg's falling asleep. And if you start trending, then you get more eyes on you too, because men get curious about these things. They absolutely will look at the little trending option on the drop-down menu and see who is making money, because those are girls who are doing what they do best. Getting into SextPanther is a little bit more difficult than it used to be. Shameless plug for a second. I made a SextPanther complete guide. I worked really hard on it. There is my referral code, and if you use my referral code, then you get the guide for free, and I think it's like 25 pages long. Otherwise, it's $69 on my Gumroad. I really wanted to make this guide available to be somewhat cheaper, if not free, because so many people make these guidelines and it's the most basic advice ever, and then you feel like you've wasted your money. So even if you're receiving my guide and you're like, oh duh, all this information, like I already got somewhere else, but you use my referral, you don't lose any money from that. And the other really cool thing about using my referral code is if you don't make any money, I'm not gonna make any money. So really, it's just living proof of, is taking my advice going to make you money or not? And if it doesn't work out, then apparently my advice is trash. But I have faith that it is not, because I worked really hard on it and I came out of the trenches personally. And we were down in the trenches bad. It was a rough time. Anyway, you can't just use the referral code and get into SextPanther. From what I know of, the last I checked, you need to have at least 1,000 followers on some sort of platform. I know definitely for sure on Instagram you have to have 1,000 followers. They're also gonna check out your account, from what I know. They want to know if you're somewhat established in the community. So they want to see if you're following other sex workers, if other sex workers are following you, if your posts are somewhat a teeny tiny bit spicy, if you're plugging yourself on different websites, if you have some kind of standing. I know it sucks because you'll want to just get in there and start right away, but I can also really appreciate that they're specific about who they let in, because the industry has become so oversaturated. Now, there will always be more customers than there is creators, but there was a big boom in creators when the pandemic happened and everyone decided to hop onto OnlyFans. But by the time that you do get accepted in and you do become more established, it makes it a little bit nicer that you have less competition. And that means more customers' eyes on specifically you. I could go on and on about the things that I love about SextPanther. Those are just a few. I have lots of tips and tricks on my guide, and I'm really, really proud of it. And I'm hoping that this guideline will be the start of something really beautiful with the, oh my god, I didn't even say it in the beginning, the Killjoy Collective. I'm just tired of the OnlyFans bro pimps and the gatekeeping. It's reasonable to gatekeep some things, but the basics just don't make sense to me. So be sure to check out my Telegram channel where I post updates every so often, not spammy at all. I make my guidelines when I make my guidelines. I do a whole lot else, so I really try to get it in, but I can only do so much. I also have the Killjoy Collective on Instagram that you can follow. Again, not really spammy, not a lot of posts on there, but it is there for when you want to check it out and keep up with what I'm posting. And if you have any other questions for me, you can absolutely ask them below. There is no dumb question. Some are repetitive, but that doesn't mean that they're dumb. Knowledge is power. And money. Hopefully lots of money. I'm super excited to be joining the YouTube world, and I will be posting again, hopefully sooner rather than later. If you want to give me a like or a subscribe, that would be nice, you know. But until then, I hope that this made you think a little bit more about your options. And if you're on OnlyFans, maybe I'll be posting a little bit more about promoting and marketing for that, so you can have a little bit more of an idea of saving your time and not wasting on things that aren't gonna work for you. You guys didn't tell me my septum was crooked again. Goodbye from me, my crooked septum.